Hey guys, it's Janice Wilson Hughes. We're here in my Evolution Stoneware Pottery studio for a very quick video today on how to make spooky eye luminaries. Now this is based on a project that I saw floating around Facebook and Pinterest last year, where you take a tube that toilet paper is wrapped on and you cut out little eye shapes in it and then put a glow stick in, and you can hide that in your bushes at Halloween and use it as a decoration. Because here in the US we are all about putting out spooky skeleton, ghost, those types of Halloween decorations, and these look really cool with these glowing eyes just sort of peering out of the darkness. So what we're going to do is do that same concept, but do it in clay so that you can reuse these over and over. If you don't decorate for Halloween, you could do a really terrible practical joke and put this in someone's room or something, hiding under their bed. Don't tell anyone I told you that. So anyway, I'm sizing these to work with 6-inch glow sticks. Now I get glow sticks at the dollar store in packs of 4. So you get 4 of these for $1 US. Now, in other parts of the world, I'm sure you can get something similar. So these are sized just so that you would crack this glow stick and put it in there, and then the glowing from the glow stick will light up those eyes. You could also use LEDs or something like that instead. So I'm going to do this with an extruded tube, and I'm using a small tube just because it's very similar to the size of toilet paper rolls, which I knew last year worked very well. You could do it with a larger tube. If you don't have access to an extruder, roll out a slab of clay and wrap it around some sort of stick, a broom handle or something like that, and use that for your tube. Or if you don't like the hand build, throw some cylinders and cut the eyes in them. Now you could also do some sort of friendly design in these. It doesn't have to be eyes, you know. You could make something for a kid's room that had little stars cut out or something. But today, because it's close to Halloween here in the United States, we're gonna do these spooky eyes. So I have an extruded tube here. Now I'm going to cut this initially at 7 inches long. So I have my tape measure here. I'm just going to cut that at about 7 inches long. So that gives me some room to clean up the edge and allow for shrinkage and still have the entire glow stick fit inside the tube. Now, these original ones that I made, I just freehanded these shapes, but moving forward, I decided to make some little templates to use to make it easier and more repeatable. So I have a few different templates here, and if you'd like some ideas for shapes, I will flash up some sketches that I made that you could do something similar. So here are those shapes. All right, so now it's time to go ahead and work on our eye cutouts. So one thing to note, for the shape of your eye, you want that entire shape to be viewable from looking straight on your tube. So if the shape of the eye had to, say, wrap around the tube to be visible for the whole shape, you won't be able to see it when it's lit up because you'll just be looking at this straight on. So you need this entire shape to fit on the front of the tube. So I'm going to use this one, and first I'm going to just sort of eyeball the middle of the tube. Make a little tiny mark for myself that I'll smooth out later. So I'm going to put this eye on here and just trace around it. Okay. Now what I'll do is just flip this over, put it over here, and trace it again. I I just used a pointed wooden tool to trace that. You could use any tool that you'd like, even an actual pencil would be fine. So now I have a couple of eyes traced on here. Now we just need to cut these out. You want to do this with the clay at leather hard, preferably, because it'll be a lot easier to handle it and remove those pieces without totally distorting the clay. So I'm using a sharp clay knife to do this. Okay, so our basic shape is roughed in, and what you'll want to do is let this set up until it's fairly stiff. Then you can clean it up a little bit if you need to, maybe smooth out the edges with a sponge. And another thing that I like to do is round out these edges a little bit. So I'm going to dry this out a little bit and then we'll come back and finish it up. So here's what we have. And I'll be honest with you, I like to spend a good amount of time really refining these edges and making it look crisp and professional, but you really wouldn't have to, and you could definitely do this as a kid's project, and I think they'd have quite a bit of fun. It doesn't have to be that polished to still look cool when it's lit up. I remember I cut this at 7 inches long to accommodate a 6-inch glow stick after it's fired, to account for shrinkage and cleaning up these ends a little bit. So just so that I didn't have to worry too much about how flush or flat I cut these ends when I first cut it off, it's easier to just leave a little extra room. So now I'm going to use this rasp and level off the end. So now it's much more flush, or flat, if you will, perpendicular to the length of the tube. And then so that I don't have any sharp edges here that are going to want to chip if it happens to bump into something, I'm just going to round, or not really round, but sort of bevel the outer edge here. It'll just make it more robust for having this sort of laying around outside in the bushes. Okay. Now don't forget to stamp your luminary tube, which I haven't done yet, but here's how I just beveled the end. So that'll keep it from chipping. So with that, all we need to do is come in with a wet sponge and clean up these edges a little bit, but it's pretty much ready to go. So wet sponge. Okay, well that was the speedy version of how you would do this. You could make more complex ones, and you certainly might want to spend a little more time refining your edges. But for the sake of show and tell on the video, that's basically it. Oops, and I forgot, after I use that rasp, I do want to sort of just smooth out these grated ends. My dogs are barking. Must be the mailman. Okay, here we go. So go make some spooky eyes. And if you can't visualize what these look like glowing, here are some pictures. And by the way, this is just a very inexpensive little strip of LED lights that are battery powered. And that was what I just used for show and tell. So you don't have to use glow sticks, but glow sticks are a fun option for the kids. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you later. Bye. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you have fun with this project. And I'd love to see pictures of what you make as far as tube luminaries. So shoot me some pictures and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.